The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Come on, back. Red.
Now Patterson to start the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Second and 11. And complete to Drake London. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man. It's London. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They go play action here on first down. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
A run between the tackles with Cullen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Here's Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Grady Jarrett able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
the Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First and 10, it's Patterson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Falcons at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Again, Patterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also,
that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Fields on first down. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Three 0 after one on EA Sports. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Here's Fields on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Justin Fields with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Santos with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Robert Quinn in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. Taken in at the 22. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Bears take over.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Now it's Fields. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will be Falcon football. And from down in Miami, an update and an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. Are back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole, and it leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
Ready. Flag blue. Field black.
2nd and 5. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
38.
Here's Patterson again. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Ready, set.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got London on a slant. And he is going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
60.
Looking to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
A throw over the middle taken in.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
52 blaster. Blown check.
They'll run with Patterson.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Hey, green.
They'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Richie Grant in on the tackle.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 9-yard line.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Ready?
Patterson running between the tackles. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
Straight ahead, Patterson.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
50 yards on the ground for him so far.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
They'll go again with Patterson.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Running left, here's Patterson.
And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
10 seconds.
2nd and 3. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Falcons take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now Fields.
The screen pass here to Cohen. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
A right side run with Patterson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 15. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. On the return is Cohen. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They try again with Cohen. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. A shotgun snap, Fields. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And boy, that sure turned out well for them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Casey Hayward. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 25. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run with Patterson.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen
touchdown, Drake London, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're
coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They'll go. It's Patterson.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 52 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
They'll try to counter here. Cohen, not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Atlanta, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.